Hi, Jane. This assignment 2 looks very good. It's neat. No problem with the template falling apart, and all of the areas that must match RGB numbers wise do. Um, it seems like the interval is good. The only thing I'll mention is the surprising colors we get, where the bars intersect in middle and right. Right, it's actually reminding me of the down on a peach. And I think part of the reason for these colors that are a bit unexpected is due to the digital color wheel, where we're more familiar with the paint one. Laura, nice batch of work here. Assignment 2 looks great. Everything that's meant to match does, and the interval looks appropriate. With transparency, well, that's a nice riff on assignment 2, and with reason, because both are transparency projects. Here I'd say push it further. Either make the composition symmetrical or make it obviously not symmetrical. For instance, those vertical bars could all be the same width and they could be evenly spaced. Now, your depth design has a quality of transparency too. That's actually really beautiful. I find that arresting in a lovely way. I like to look at it, and you do have depth there. Once more though, I encourage you to work on spacing. Here it looks like the spacing ought to be even. There ought to be even gaps between the yellow bars, and that would really make it. Now on to vibration. Well, here you do have consistent value and fully saturated colors, and I will grant you the magenta is cooler than the red, but both are warm colors. For maximum vibration, you want to have a warm and a cool. Hi, Ria. This is a great job on assignment 2. Everything that's meant to match does. Your interval is good, and there is drama between those 3 areas of intersection. Likewise, transparency looks excellent. And I'd like to see the transparency example from assignment 3 next to assignment 2. They seem to work as a pair. Depth seems quite good, and I know that you were working on a resolution issue. Bear in mind that your original native file must have the resolution. Photoshop, for example, will let you add resolution. However, it will always be poor in quality. So be sure to keep your original at a high resolution, and when you save for use on the web, for example, downsize the file by making a copy, and save for web will always make a copy. Now, vibration looks great. The colors are fully saturated and they're similar in value. When I check this with the grid, I see a little inconsistency in the center of the design. Because it's possible to get a very exact design with digital art, here's a high expectation toward that. Hi, Mary. Good job on assignment 2. Everything that's meant to match does, and the interval looks good. Your designs for assignment 3 are really amazing, and I put one draft in there so that people might witness the degree of change from your draft to your final. I liked the way that in the depth piece you're playing with changing the color of stroke in Illustrator and even the size of the stroke, and that's something that people might like to play with in the final project too. Transparency is also a lovely piece, and I noticed that you've adjusted spacing so it's quite precise now. Vibration is a complex work also. I will say that it's easier to get the quality of vibration if you limit your number of colors. However, you have warm and cool colors at full saturation, and the colors are somewhat similar in value. Melissa, nice job with your assignment 2. Everything that's meant to match does. It seems as though the areas of intersection at center and right are closer in color than what we see with left and center. So there the interval might be adjusted. Lovely work for assignment 3. Your solutions are very different, but all very appealing. Transparency is nice because we get a sense of transparent shapes of color hovering in space in the foreground and the background. Depth works very well, sort of accordion shapes that extend into space. With vibration, one of your classmates mentioned that perhaps if you remove the black, the vibration quality would be greater, and that's true. This is a nice design, however, and I enjoy the quality of the two horizontals overlapping the rest of the design. Hello, Janine. This is a pretty nice job on your assignment too. I wonder if the template might be falling apart a little bit. All colors that are meant to match do, and it might be that the interval could be evened out between the areas of overlap. Transparency looks good. It reminds me of the art of Paul Klee that I was showing in one of the discussion questions. Depth looks good. I see that the colors desaturate and grow darker with distance. And in vibration, you've got a good solution. Tanya, assignment 2 looks great. The only little thing is I wonder if this template might be falling apart a bit. The design looks a little fuzzy. With assignment 3, things are pretty good. I think we could say that you've bent the rules a little bit about using only rectangles. With transparency, I like the concept of weaving the ribbons in front and behind. In depth, you're successful in making the paler blue recede owing to the white background and the finer line. With vibration, things look okay. It might be that your values could match a little more. Suzette, assignment 2 looks great. With assignment 3, transparency, I can see it took time to build this. I struggle a little bit with the arbitrary placement of the red vertical bars. However, I'm interested in the concept. With part 2, here I think you're using perhaps drawing ideas more so than color ones. We have only neutral colors, beiges, browns, so hue isn't really playing a role. We don't have warm or cool, and we really don't have saturated or desaturated, though there is some value going on there. Generally, lighter values advance, and you've got them to the rear. With vibration, things look okay. This is a simple, straightforward design. Cyan could be more saturated, and maybe values could be closer. Jamie, great work from you this week. Assignment 2 seems quite right, and I notice you built it from scratch. Assignment 3, I enjoy the way that your transparency piece shows a line winding through space owing to use of opacity and overlapping in some areas. The corners are transparent, I see. With depth, I wish that file had a little more resolution so I could see better what's going on. You've got a little bit of trouble with artifacts there. I see the general concept and it is working. Vibration is a great piece. I'm checking the values and they probably could be a little more similar. Hi, Samantha, your colors are really nice for this assignment too. And let's see, maybe the interval could be evened out just a tad. With transparency in assignment 3, I'm not seeing the effect we're looking for. With depth, things are good. Those darker bars do seem to be farther away. In vibration, you do have a warm and a cool, and those could be closer in value. I know that's hard to achieve when you've got yellow and violet. Another matter is to make sure colors are fully saturated. And I'm going to call you for not using rectangles only in assignment 3.